Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are talking about how to make a change in your life, how to quit or start any habit and change the direction of your life. By understanding your mind, how reality works, and using the right approach, because using the wrong approach a million times gets you nowhere, but using the right approach makes progress. So let's get right into it. The first thing that it's the start of everything is understanding the power of the present moment. Why? Because the present moment is all we have. There is nothing besides the present moment. The present moment is all we have, and change is always in the present moment. Change of direction is always in the present moment. Your actions are always in the present moment. So nothing happens besides the present moment. So the first thing is losing the idea that change will happen tomorrow, that you're going to change. Scratch this idea from your mind, because nothing will happen and you're not going to do anything. So you are always doing something and something always is. So the present moment is where everything happens, and making a change in your life comes down to first understanding that this is true. So one famous saying was from Alan Watts, who said, "The trail does not drive the boat," which means that the past has no power over the present moment, and the future is determined by the direction we choose now by steering the boat, which is in the present moment. So this is the first thing, because you will never change and you're not going to change. So you are always changing and choosing something in the present moment. So first of all is scratch the idea of future, tomorrow, later, because it's not gonna happen. So first of all is knowing that you are here now in this moment, and then we go to the second point. When you know the change is here in this moment, you realize that you are here and you have a freedom of choice. So what does the freedom of choice mean? You are here and you have a choice. And for example, let's say you want to quit smoking. You have a choice. Are you smoking a cigarette or are you not smoking a cigarette? It's a simple choice. But the important thing is knowing that this is your freedom of choice. So there is no force here. There is no I must stop, I should stop, I need to stop, I have to stop. This is all by force, and it's taking your freedom away. But the reality is that you are free to choose. So you are choosing to either smoke or not smoke. So no should, no must, no need, no it's forbidden, but I choose. So I am here this moment and I am choosing to record this video. There is no need, there is no must, there is no have to, nothing by force. It's a freedom of choice. So this is the second thing. The third thing is reason. Understanding reason is another important part in changing your life, because when you make a choice or when you do anything, you always have a reason for it. Anything we do, there is a reason behind it. So understanding reason and using it to your advantage is a crucial fact in this process of changing yourself or changing your life, let's say your situation. Because let's imagine there is a scale, and on the one side of the scale is a yes, on the other side is a no, and this scale is your decision. So the number or the weight of reasons you have determines what you are choosing. So for example, if you have 10 reasons why in this moment you are choosing to smoke a cigarette, then you're smoking a cigarette. But if you have plenty of more reasons, so the weight of reasons why you should not smoke, or why you are choosing to not smoke is bigger than the reasons why you are smoking, then the scale weights on the other side and that decision is then final. So, understanding reason is another crucial part. We are gonna go in depth, but now I'm just clearing the first steps and then we go into each. So, the first is, it's possible. We are just repeating this because repetition is important for the understanding, you know. So, it's possible. Change can only happen now, in the present moment. You have the freedom of choice. There is no force here. You are not forced to do anything. What you choose depends on the reasons you have for either yes or no. And then the fourth part is your identity. So, your identity is like the core of everything you do in life. Who do you say you are? So, the I am are one of the most important, if not the most important words in your life. Because what comes after I am is what shapes your life. Let me explain. So, you want a different outcome. So the outcome is what you wish for. So a different habit or something different in your life. This is the outcome. The outcome always comes from different actions. So a different process, different actions. But what motivates your actions is who do you say you are? And who do you say you are is a choice. But still, now that we come to the identity, it's important to understand that your current identity is built out of the past. So, how do I say this? So, your identity, who do you say you are right now, it depends on the past. So, you say who you are based on what you did in the past. But right now is always fresh. That's why I said the first thing that you need to know is using the power of the present moment, because the present moment is always fresh. And if you don't use the power of the present moment, then the past recycles itself again and again and again, and there is no change, just recycling of the old. So, identity is another part. We get into it deeper. And the final part is when this comes familiar to you, the identity, the choice. When it comes familiar to you, because a lot of them say the comfort zone, but it's actually the familiar zone. When it comes familiar to you, when it's known to you, yeah, it's nothing special, then this is like anchored into your being and this is your new identity and it's normal for you. So this is basically the whole process of change quickly. So now we are gonna go through this with examples. The examples, let's say we're gonna use smoking for the example because it's the easiest, but we're gonna do this. How would I talk to myself and go through the process from a smoker to a non-smoker? So, first thing is I am smoking right now and I want to stop smoking. See, it's very simple, and this is where most of us are when it comes to change. So you probably want to quit, maybe it's not smoking, but there is one habit that you want to quit or change in your life, and by watching this video you accomplish this. You will accomplish this, but you accomplish it for sure. So just watch this video, use what is told in this video, apply this to your life, and the change is here. So let's go through the process. First, I'm a smoker, I want to be a non-smoker. The first thing, as we said, is it's possible for me. Of course, this is possible for me and it's possible for me now. Now that I know it's possible, we are using the present moment. So I know that instead of me identifying myself with I am a smoker and I want to become a non-smoker, I realize that the present moment is fresh. And the identity of being a smoker comes or is based on the past. So instead of saying I am a smoker or thinking I am a smoker and I want to become a non-smoker, I realize that the present moment is fresh, and instead think or say I was a smoker. Up until this moment I was a smoker, but now I am choosing that I'm smoke free because it makes me feel better, because this is not me anymore, because so at least many reasons, but I'm going to a little bit too fast. So realizing that the identity of being a smoker is based on the past, and in this moment, if you're not smoking, you already are a non-smoker. See? You don't have to become a non-smoker, but you have to stop identifying with the past and identifying with being a smoker, because this is no longer true for you. This was true for you in the past, but by using the power of the present moment, you can start fresh, because you can always start fresh now. So, realize there is no process of becoming from a smoker to a non-smoker. Forget the process. There is no process, and you will not become, but you always are. So you either are a smoker or are not a smoker, and there is no process, because the present moment is fresh, and when you use the power of the present moment, you realize that you were a smoker up until this moment, and now you're choosing that you are not a smoker. And this is important, that you are not a smoker, because if you make a decision, I will not be a smoker, you are putting this decision in the future, and with that losing the power of the present moment, which is the only power you have. So this is clear. So it's possible using the present moment. I was a smoker up until now, but now I have the freedom of choice of being something new, something fresh. So I choose, not I must stop, I have to, it's forbidden for me. None of this forcing. It's a freedom of choice. It's your choice, and you choose, and whatever you choose, it's your responsibility, it's your fault, because you have the power. So up until now I was a smoker, now I am choosing not to smoke. It's my free choice. And now here comes the reason, because, and now you list your reasons. And these reasons are gonna cement the decision in your mind, because the reasons are the most influential to your mind, because the reasons are like very persuasive. So if there was a printing machine study, they did a study testing the power of reason. So there was a printing machine, and there was a long line of people waiting to print stuff. So there was 3 subjects that came and said, the first one had no reason. He just asked people, can you please let me in line? Can you please let me to go in front of you? And like 40% people let him. He had no reason, he just asked if they can let him before him. The second person that came said, can you please let me in front of you because because he gave a reason, because I am a teacher and I have to print stuff and I am late for my lesson. So he gave a very good reason, and almost 100% people let him to before him because he gave them a reason. And then was a third person who gave them a reason, but the reason was foolish. He was like, can you please let me to go in front of you because I need to print stuff. So the reason was like everybody needs to print stuff, right? But still, he gave them a reason, and still almost 100% of people let him through. Why? Because reason. So because, when you say because and you put a reason, it's so influential to the human mind that we accept what is told. So a reason is very powerful, and using the power of reason to cement your choice is crucial in this process of making a decision, a change in your own life. So, where were we? We were here. So, this is, I was a smoker up until now. Now I am choosing not to smoke because it makes me feel better, because I breathe cleaner and deeper, because I smell good, because I save money and don't waste it on stupid cigarettes, because. So the more reasons you have, the better the reasons, the heavier the reasons, the stronger the choice or the decision it is for you. So see that what you identify with, that is the past. You have a choice now. Why are you choosing this? So the why, the reason, cements the choice. And one of the best reasons, because we're coming to the next point, is identity. So because that is not me, I am not this, because I am someone who does not smoke. This is one of the best reasons, because identity, who you say you are, is the strongest ever by using than any reason. So when you say, I am someone who is smoke free, it's available to me, I can smoke, but I choose not to, because that is not who I am. This is one of the most powerful sayings you can say to yourself by making a choice. So this identifying with being a smoker and saying, this is not who you are, this is not who I am, I don't do this, this is not me, that's not me. So this identifying, this action from who you are, is one of the most powerful reasons you can have. And even the new identity, like I said, the new identity is, how do I say this? I meant like the actions are matching your identity. So when you say, this is not who I am, your actions must match who you say you are, always. And this is not something new that you are now gonna use and apply to your life, but this is something you already do, either consciously or unconsciously. So you are always identifying with something, and your actions always match your identity. So to go from the beginning is like this: I am here now. I was a smoker up until now. Now I have a freedom of choice. It's available to me. I can either smoke or not smoke, and I am choosing not to smoke because it makes me feel great, because this is not who I am. I don't smoke. This is not me. So making an identity, a new identity out of this choice, is the strongest thing you can do for yourself. And by realizing that there is no process, so you don't need to become this new person, but the moment you choose, you from that moment already are the new person. This is when the change is already happened. So the change is immediate when you understand this and understand that there is no process of becoming, but just the process of disidentifying from the last version of who you were and identifying with the new version of you are smoke free because this and this and this, and you're doing this by your freedom of choice in this present moment. This is where change happens. And when this comes familiar to you, it's like second nature, or how do they say, first nature. Because when it comes familiar to you, it's like, oh yeah, that's me, that's normal. So just maintain this attitude, and when you maintain this attitude, then in like a week or two, you say, oh yeah, that's me. So it comes, let's say that the attitude in the present moment and the decision you make and the reasons you put, it's like a seed, but the fruit is already in the seed. So don't wait for the fruit to grow so you are now so you can now say, yes, now I am smoke free. So when do you become smoke free, or when do you establish a new habit? When 1 month goes by and now you see that you really are doing what you said. No, the change happens in this moment. When you say, this was me, but now I am choosing this out of my freedom, because this is not me, and because this, and because this, and because this. So this is how change is made in your life. So this, you can quit any habit, you can start any habit, or make any change in your life by using this approach. So it's possible, change is now, it's your choice, you have the freedom to choose, there is no forcing. What are the reasons for choosing what you're choosing? Make it into an identity. This is who you are. And when it comes familiar, it's cemented, it's anchored, and you are now the new identity. Because you change identities every day. If I ask you who you are gonna describe to me the person you are today. But if I asked you who you are 5 years ago, you would describe a different person. So the thing is that your identity, who you say you are, is fluid. It's like a role you're playing. So don't be so rigid and identified with what you did in the past, because what you did 5 minutes ago, it's already past, and right now you can choose something new. And that is basically it for this video. I know maybe I rushed a little bit, but the main thing was giving you the step by step. If you have any more questions about this topic, like being more in depth about any of the parts, or any questions you want to know about some other topics, please leave them in the comments. The questions, the feedback, I'm really grateful when you do that, so I can answer your questions and give you more answers and more value. And that's it. So thank you for listening and enjoy.